Canopie, Cantaloupe, Cantaloupe? I don't know. Anyways, that's me. I like roller coasters, but I haven't been on enough of them, so I'm gonna combine my top 25 roller coasters with other flat rides, or rapid rides, dark rides, everything you can think of. Anywho, starting off the list is a disclaimer. I've not been to a lot of parks, and many of them I haven't ridden all their rides. For instance, I've been to Busch Gardens Tampa, but SheiKra is closed. Finally, this is my opinion, so please don't be rude in the comments. If I even get any comments, that is. But with that out of the way, starting off the list at the number 25 spot is Jurassic Park River Adventure. Yes, I have a shoot the chutes in my top 25. That's how little attractions I've been on. But it's a fun little ride with some astounding theming and a surprisingly great drop at the end. Space Mountain at Magic Kingdom may be the most famous roller coaster in the world, but almost no coaster enthusiasts talk about it. The drops give some astonishing airtime, plus the theming is fantastic. At the number 23 spot is Tigris at Busch Gardens Tampa. Something many people forget to talk about is the forces this ride exerts. You get positives, launches, hang time, floater, and ejector airtime. The restraints aren't for everyone, but I don't really mind them. Basically, a more sprawled out version of Tigris is Cheetah Hunt. You can basically swap out the explanation of Tigris with this. A very fun ride, just don't go in expecting Maverick, okay? If you want to really feel like you're flying, Superman Ultimate Flight is for you. Or any other flying coaster, except the Volairs. Those things give me pain just watching them. But I digress. Superman Ultimate Flight is smooth, calculated, and underrated. The pretzel loop is awesome, and though I've only been on the one at Six Flags Over Georgia, you could probably switch it out with any of the other ones at various Six Flags parks. Wild Eagle at Dollywood is a fantastic ride with good positives, a bit of floater, but that's basically it. Another extremely famous roller coaster that enthusiasts like to gloss over is Rock and Roller Coaster. It's pretty smooth despite its age. The theming is great, and I don't mind the meandering. This is a really odd one, but Air Racer at Tropic Falls Theme Park, or OA, or the park at OA, or whatever, is an incredible experience and offers way more hang time than hang time. Another one of OA's hidden gems is Rolling Thunder. It's practically a perfect layout. The airtime is astonishing and the inversions give great hang time. The only downside is the roughness. It's not unbearable, but keeps me from putting it any higher. Number 16 may seem low, but I truly love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. The practical effects are fantastic and the story is told really well. I just can't justify putting it above some of the other rides on this list. Dropline at Dollywood falls into the top 15. Get it?
Got him!
And this ride kind of freaks me out. I got 2 rides out of the 3 visits to the park, and that was by far enough. The view is amazing, the airtime is terrifying, and the drop feels like it lasts for hours. Basically, a smaller version of Montu is Batman the Ride at Six Flags Over Georgia. People say that this is the best version of that clone, and I believe it. The positives are extraordinary, and the whip is fantastic. But yeah, and it's also really smooth. The first of many world-class roller coasters at Islands of Adventure is Incredible Hulk. Spectacular theming, remarkable on-ride audio, dumbfounding positives. I'm kind of running out of adjectives to use. Anyways, my point is that this ride is outstanding in every definition of the word. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, located within the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal's Islands of Adventure at the Universal Orlando Resort in Orlando, Florida, takes the number 12 spot, and what an experience! A lot of people have gone in depth with this ride, and I don't want to spoil it for some people. So to sum it up in one word, theming. What is by far the most intense roller coaster I've ridden is Kumba at Busch Gardens Tampa. The 0G roll is, well, Kumba's 0G roll, and it's super intense all the way up until that final helix, but we don't talk about that. Something that would place much higher if it was longer is Twisted Cyclone. The drop, reverse cobra roll, wave turn, and step down are phenomenal, but once it finally starts getting good, it ends. Another coaster I'm not going to go very in depth with because everybody has talked about it already is Montu at the number 9 spot. It's intense, whippy, and amazing. From this point onward, I consider every ride that I talk about elite. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey is a very confusing ride. The story's confusing, the trains are confusing, but it's stunning how good it uses the digital and practical effects. The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man is special effects the ride. That's basically all I have to say about it. By far the most underrated ride I've been on is Twister at Canobie's. Wait a second. Wicked Twister at... No, not that. The Twister I'm talking about is at Owa. Never heard of it? It's a Discovery Revolution by Zamperla, and yet again, it gives way more hang time than hang time. It also gives great speed, float or air time, and you're spinning the whole way through. Finally, the moment you have all been waiting for, the top 5. Lightning Rod at Dollywood is the most overrated roller coaster I've ridden. It gives a lot of weak, non-sustained airtime, and Dollywood kind of ripped it from its former glory by slowing it down and tearing down a lot of the trees. It's still an awesome ride with an amazing quad down, but it just doesn't really live up to the hype. What is probably the best dark ride ever is Rise of the Resistance. Where do I even begin with this? It feels like it's half an hour long. The animatronics actually tricked me into thinking they were real people. All of the cast members are in character, and the trackless dark ride part of it is stunning. Velocicoaster really is the full package when it comes to roller coasters. Theming, restrained launches, inversions, especially that Mosasaurus roll, even a fantastic locker system. Basically no cons except for the bad rattle on some of the trains. Not the most underrated ride I've been on, but definitely the most underrated coaster is Goliath at Six Flags over Georgia. The first and only ever B&M Hyper I've been on is amazing. Sure, the rattle is there, but you get some crazy airtime, and it's pure bliss throughout the whole layout. Finally, the number 1 is Iron Gwazi. I know, very stereotypical, but the airtime's strong and sustained, it's smooth, and it's my number 1. So, this was my first video. Don't really know how to end it, so